Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Grade 9, Level A. We're tackling the same book, Global English 9. Here we go with Unit 12 one more time. The title is Making a Living. As we have all discussed in the warm-up, making a living is something related to the way you earn money. If you earn money, you have to work. So if you're talking about work, we have to think about the ideal job. What your ideal job is. According to some kind of statistics being done based on a survey for some of the students, they are teenagers, as you can see, from 13 to 14 years old. They're all from Britain. We have a bunch of jobs here from 1 to 25. We should be familiar with most of these jobs. So we're going to focus on the most critical ones as they can be new for you. If you look at number 2, you have lawyer. And the lawyer is a person who defends criminals. We can get to number 5, which is a sportsman, sportswoman, or as we can call them in other words, an athlete. Teacher, lecturer. What's the difference between a teacher and a lecturer? If you are working as a teacher in a school, it's different from a lecturer in a, yes, correct, in a university. So the person who teaches the student in the university is a lecturer. We also have the armed forces, or as we can say, the people who work in the military. That's another thing. They can be soldiers, they can be firefighters. Another one that can be new for us is a consultant. Consultant is someone who gives you what you need as an advice. It can be an advice in your job, so he can be job consultant. It can be a consultant at school, so like the student's counselor. Or we even have the IT, information technology consultant, the one who gives you any advice you need concerning the devices you use, maybe the computers, or they can be the software and the hardware you're working with. Also, we have the veterinarian, and the veterinarian is the one who is a doctor, and not any kind of doctors, but doctors for, yes, correct, for animals. That's it. Also, for the list here from 18 to 25, we have a bunch of words. We're going to work with beauty therapist. The therapist in general is someone who is specialized in having certain trainings for you. If he's a physical therapist, if you have something in your arms or an injury in the leg, so this is a physical therapist. If I'm talking about beauty therapist, that's a different thing. He's the one who is, let's say that you have a problem with your skin or a problem with your face. So he's going to give you an advice how to work with the skin or with your face to get it in a better way so you become beautiful. And if we're saying beautiful, so we are addressing women in particular. If we're addressing men, so we can say handsome. That's one thing. Also, we have other kinds of things like journalists. They work in newspaper. They can write articles. So these are all the jobs, and you can send me your questions upon any other words. Now, if we move to another part of the lesson, is what are you looking for from your job? You should think of the best thing to get out of this job. Why do you choose this? So we can have different reasons. The same page 94, you have 6 definitions. Those 6 definitions you can match with different advantages being given here for good jobs. The first one is flexible hours. What do I mean by flexible hours? Flexible is, yes, something that you can manage easily. So flexible hours means you can work on them properly. They can be from 4 to 8, they can be from 6 to 9, so you are the one to determine. Also, good prospects. What do I mean by good prospects? Yes, excellent. Good prospects means that you see better chances for development in the future, maybe good things to improve in your job. Also, one benefit can be, or one advantage is, yes, the good salary, the good payment you receive. Maybe 10,000, maybe 12,000. You would want to decide to choose based on the job scale. I'm sorry. Job satisfaction. In general, what do I mean by someone who is satisfied? If you are satisfied, you feel pleased and you want more, nothing more than this. So yes, if I work the thing I like, it needs to be satisfaction. So you feel satisfied with what you're doing. Also, long holidays is an option in your job. Like what they say, yes, excellent for the teachers. Everyone is talking about the long holidays for the teacher. So teaching is one profession that people can go for. Also, opportunities for travel. In some kind of jobs, you can go here and there for finishing some tasks. You can travel to, let's say, France, Spain, so you can travel abroad, or even you can travel in different cities of the same country to finish your job. So this can be a good thing for you if you like traveling. Also, the regular employment, meaning that if you go to find a job, they regularly find people for this. Now, seasonal work. Seasonal work. Who can think of a job that can work for a certain season of the year and then you can stop it? Excellent, that's it. Hajj work. So people who work for Hajj services can be called seasonal work because they only work at that period of time and then they stop. And some people work in restaurants for the summer holidays because people go to restaurants in excessive numbers during summer holidays, so they need more cashiers, more waiters, so this can be also a seasonal work. Also, serving the community. If you're serving the community for free, mostly, I'm sorry, or paid, so this is a serving community thing. It can be voluntary work, so you are not getting paid, or your job involves this, like being a doctor or being a nurse, as these days. So doctors and nurses are very crucial to the community, and they are serving the community in a way or in another. Also, working outdoors is another prospect. So if we're talking about working outdoors, this is a good thing because people like going outdoors for introducing their services or even introducing their companies. This can be a good thing for them. So please, you need to work on the 6 definitions to match them here. Let's read the first one. A lot of opportunities for the future success. Yes, thank you, it's good prospects. Number 2, the enjoyment you get from doing your work. If you enjoy the work, you love it, you have it. So what do I call this? Yes, it's job satisfaction. You enjoy what you're doing. 3, the time you start and finish work is not fixed. As we said, it can be from 6 to 9 or from 4 to 8. Thank you. That's flexible hours. Also, more than the average amount paid for the job you do. That's, thank you, good payment, as we said, or good salary. Now, number 5, work that is only done at certain times of the year. Thank you. That's seasonal work. And number 6 is always having work. That's it. Yes, regular employment, as we can see. Now, moving to the second page, which is more of a language tip rather than a grammar lesson. We remember the relative pronouns and what we use them for. If we have 2 different sentences and we need to join them together, so use thank you, which. Now, reading this sentence, people generally enjoy going to the theater, which means that you get great job satisfaction from being an actor. What do I use which here? Yes, to refer to something that is previously mentioned. Is it one thing? I mean, is it one noun No, it's an idea. So what is the idea I'm talking about? Enjoying the theater. So that's a whole idea. And then I use it to refer to the same thing on the second part of the sentence, which means that you get great job satisfaction from being an actor. Now we have the same thing to do here with the sentences. So you read the sentence and they give an example. Afterwards, you answer them. We'll take number 2 as an example. Being a police officer is challenging. This means that you have to be the right kind of person for this job. So the answer is, being a police officer is challenging, which, and do not forget the comma, means that you have to be the right kind of the person for the job. If you move to the workbook, you find the same 2 pages here as usual, 70 and 71. Please answer them based on what we talked about, and then we can check them together. See you next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. How are you, everyone? And we're still continuing with Global English 9, Unit 12. This is the second lesson, part-time and summer jobs. If you remember from last lesson, we said that we have work, yes, seasonal work. So the seasonal work can have different things. It can be full-time jobs, so you work for 8 hours, for example, or part-time jobs, so you still work for a part of the day, like 4 hours. And also we can determine them as summer jobs. As we said, yes, the waiters, the people who work as lifeguards, maybe on the shores and beaches, yes, thank you. So this can be a summer job that can only be done during summer vacation. Giving another example to let you understand more about this, as we said before, Hajj jobs, people who help people during Hajj time, so this can be a seasonal work. Now, in some countries, as you can see here, you are allowed at your age to work during summer holidays or summer vacation. But in other countries, this is some kind of a difficult thing, according to law. So, am I allowed to get a job? Then we have a list of words we need to focus on. Babysitting. Yes, babysitters who take care of the babies and the housework while the owners or the parents are not there. Shop work, shop assistant, cashier, all of these things, they are related to shop work. Hair dressing, or for men, as we call them, barbers. Hair dressing for women and barbers for men. Also farm work and gardening. Some people can go for the gardens and they take care of them. And they mow the lawn, for example, as a kind of services. Some companies do this kind of service. They come at you if you don't have the lawnmower at home, so they come and do that job for you. Also working in a cafe, as we said, as a waiter. This is something that is required. Working at riding stables. What do I mean by stables? For those who are, yes, related to riding horses. And some hotel work. Some people work as receptionists, and this is something you can be trained on, how to deal with the customers. That's a good thing. Other people can work with, with managing the timetables and the allocation for rooms. Yes. Also the office work. Some people work as secretaries for some companies, so that they work for 3-5 months during the vacation accordingly. Now, reading this, what the law says in England, that you have to be at least 13, and I guess in Saudi Arabia not less than 15 to work in this. So if you are between 13 and 14, you can work up to 5 hours a day on Saturdays and during school holidays. But in total, not more than 25 hours per week. Listen, all children must have at least 2 weeks when they are not working during the summer holidays. So you can't work all the summer holiday, at least 2 weeks to be off so that you can relax. That's it. Especially if you have a long vacation. Think of these things and see what kind of jobs you can do during your summer vacation, the next one, and then we can consider them for yourselves. Yes, some of you will choose cafe working. Yes, that's it. Some will choose hotel work. That's an easy job, and it's more required these days because people come for tourism and visiting Saudi Arabia for touristic attractions, or even Hajj and Umrah. Also, the shop work. If you can work as a shop assistant, you can serve the customer and tell them where the things they're searching for are, or they even give the sizes for the clothes, giving them the prices. These are all good things to be done. Babysitting is not that common, here in Saudi Arabia, but in Western countries, that's something that they really matter. Okay, now, getting to the use of English thing, we have that reflexive, don't worry, this is nothing more than flu. So, reflexive pronoun structures, that's something that is very easy if we remember from 2-3 years back, grade 6 if I'm not mistaken. You have the pronouns like my, it becomes thank you, myself, your, if you're talking about possessive adjectives, yourself, if you're talking about some other part, so if he's a male, himself, if she's a female, so herself, thank you. If we're talking for cats, inanimates, chairs, so itself. So this is the case of singular pronouns. But what about plurals? If I'm talking about a group of people, and I say we, I'm included, so ourselves. If you're talking to a group of people and you're pointing at them, yourselves. And if you're talking about another group of people, you're not with them, so themselves. Back to this exercise again. 1 to 6. Let's have the first one. You read it, please. Is it okay if I help to another piece of cake? Yes, myself. Thank you. Does the oven switch itself off when the timer stops? 3. Be careful, Saisha. You can hurt yourself because you're talking to Saisha herself here as you're mentioning her name. 4. He had a great time working at the riding stables. He really enjoyed himself. Thank you. Are we allowed to help ourselves? Thank you. To snacks and drinks. She downloaded an app and taught herself to speak and to play the guitar. That's great. Now, you need to train yourself on writing a report if you're discussing something with people, like we get back to exercise 7. And if we're talking about one of the jobs, let's say babysitting, think of some questions about the jobs and write your discussion in the report as an example here. If you're writing this, you can submit it to me and then we can check back on the website. That was all for our lesson today. Thank you very much for being with us. Assalamu alaikum.